That means Dan Union Home Mortgage, 208 Grand Avenue in downtown Laramie. Dan Pasman, it's Credit Tip Tuesday. What do you have for us and the audience?
Great to see you today. And here today I thought we'd bring Kim Middlestead with My Front Door in to talk about credit tips. My Front Door is a wonderful down payment assistance program for folks that qualify, that hit the household incomes and here in Laramie, and they'll bring her in to visit about her wonderful program and getting people maybe involved with it that might be in it, because a big part of credit and buying a home is down payment, because at the end of the day the down payment is what really drives affordability. Thanks, Kim. I appreciate you coming in to visit about My Front Door.
Yeah, my pleasure.
You know, I was many years ago, before I joined the United Way Board, I was on the My Front Door program board, and so I had a good time with that, and I think it can be an important part of here in Laramie.
Yeah, so basically, My Front Door, we are here in Albany County and Laramie County, are the two counties that we work in. I am a part-time program manager over here in Laramie. We basically work with families at a certain income level to do financial preparedness and education. So we partner with Wyoming Housing Network to do financial literacy courses. And then we work with our families directly working through our program, and we really meet families where they're at. So whether that's paying down credit card debt, building up a savings for a down payment, we work alongside the families in our program for the end goal of hopefully purchasing a home. And what that looks like is My Front Door, by going through our program, we take on a second mortgage for the family of $25,000, so that reduces the overall cost of the house. It lowers your monthly payments. It makes it more accessible as an entry level for families to enter the housing market, and especially here in Laramie, it's exceptionally competitive. Costs have only risen since COVID times. Things have gotten really expensive here in town, so we do a lot of support. We additionally sometimes get extra grant funds to help with additional down payment assistance, but our end goal here is to help build community, to help make housing a sustainable avenue for families, and yeah, that's kind of our main gist.
Yeah, no, I think the big advantage your program has over most programs is your second mortgage is a forgivable second mortgage. It's a forgivable remind me, is it 5 or 6?
5 years.
It's a 5 year.
5 years. But even if so basically it's a reduction of $5,000 per year, but we pay that up front, so it's held by the mortgage company. But say you ended up moving within 3 years, you still would have $15,000 paid off. Our long-term goal, though, is that you're living in that house for a minimum of 5 years. Most of the time, obviously, families are living in there longer. This is the biggest investment of their lives. But our goal here is to create lasting community in these two counties, and so we do have that 5-year goal, I would say.
Can your assistance, Kim, help to avoid a insurance payment, a loan insurance program?
Potentially, a lot of that has to do with how much you can put down, and if you meet the certain, like Dan, you probably know what your...
So yeah, if you have a 20% down payment or more, you can avoid the mortgage insurance typically on most mortgages. So if you have a family that's really aggressive about saving, and you take the $25,000 they get from My Front Door and then add that to their down payment, you can get to that 20% equity position.
And you could avoid avoid that.
You can't avoid the mortgage insurance.
Outstanding.
Now, the most important thing I want to point out about this program is that most down payment assistance programs are second mortgages that have to be repaid on a loan. This one is forgivable by every year you gain equity by continuing to live in the house, which is huge, because the most important thing there is in a home is the equity in the home. You know, most people will say when it comes to buying a home, the most important thing there is the lowest interest rate or the lowest monthly payment possible. Those are very important things, but they're not the most important thing. The most important thing is the equity in the property up front, because if anything goes wrong in your life, that equity in the property is what might help you out to get out of your situation. So this gaining equity every year through the forgivable second is huge. And the other thing I'll have Kim talk about a little bit with this as well is that the assistance doesn't stop on closing day when they find the house. There's maintenance grants and things like that that go along with the program. So you are involved with the community that will help you along the way, because it's really easy to get somebody into a house many times, but it's what do you do to keep them in that house?
Yeah, we offer them. So once you've gone through the program, you've purchased your home. Every year subsequently, for the up to those 5 years, you can apply for a maintenance grant. So that's up to $1,000 and go towards any home repairs. I mean, we've helped with new windows. I want to say like a water heater purchase, all kinds of things. And so it really helps to alleviate some of those big purchase things that might have gotten missed, or just you knew were down the pipeline. We have income requirements. They're available on our website. But I mean, for example, for a family of 4 here in Laramie, it's $104,000 or $104,000.
So it's cum income,
Yeah.
adjusted, or
It's based off of the AMI rates is what we go off of,
Okay.
but we're at 100% of that, and because it's really, I mean, we recognize how expensive it is here in town, and that I think what our program does is help make housing accessible for middle and low income families. And I think that's what people don't recognize, is that even for, like here in Laramie, the average university employee as a full-time employee makes $56,000. Like if you have a dual income couple working at the university, you would probably qualify for our program. And so I think that, but even then, what we're finding is that it's still super competitive, it's super expensive, it's still hard for families at $100,000 to $120,000 to be able to buy a home. And so we see this as long-term investment in the families that are doing the work, they're doing the program, they're the ones that are building up their savings, they're building up their credit. We are just showing them in good faith that, like, yes, you've done this, and now as an effort to build our community, like, we're going to support you in this journey.
And if you're curious about this program, I encourage you to get a hold of Dan Pasman, 208 Grand Avenue in historic downtown Laramie. He's Union Home Mortgage representative for Laramie. Dan, any final comments?
I'd just like to thank Ken for coming in to see us today. I think this is a wonderful program that can definitely help folks here in Laramie. Sometimes with this, especially the way that this program is geared, people that typically wouldn't think they would be this program be available for them, they might qualify. So definitely, if you think you're in a home buy and getting a down payment is a struggle, give me a call, let me know, give Kim a call, and we'll see what we can do to help you, because they've redone the education system. It's a self-paced system to help people, get into homes. And so I'm excited. It's excited to have Kim here, and I'm excited to see where this program can go in Laramie.
Dan Pasman with Kim Middlestat from Union Home Mortgage, 208 Grand Avenue. Thank you for your time today, Kim.
Thank you.
Thanks.